Hello, this is Reverend Twyla Reese coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. I am so happy to be here with you on this Saturday afternoon in April of 2021. I don't have any musicians with me today. It's me, and we'll be doing some music by Stowe Good, How Adored You Are, Karen Taylor Good and Stowe Daly, two beautiful singing partners and just wonderful people, musicians and vocalists. So I look forward to sharing them with you at the end, towards the end of my talk. But right now, I just want to welcome you and to say hello and to just invite you to come on in and take a breath, find your place within your body. And more than anything, I want you to know that you are loved, that you are absolutely loved, and you are absolute love. So, again, thank you for being here with me at Unity of Merced. You can find us online at unitymerced.org. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, which is maybe how you're seeing us right now. And know that if you are spiritually fed by these messages, there are ways to donate on our website as well as in the description that you'll find both on Facebook as well as YouTube. So, again, I invite you to be here in this moment, to find your breath, to find your place within yourself. And breathe into your heart. Breathe into your heart. Feel that beautiful place within you that is always beating, always vibrating, is always energized by the love of God within and around you. So, again, just take another breath. And allow yourself to come into this present moment. I want to read you a little story. A little story. Stay in this present moment place. Stay in this place of softness and listen to my words. And let my words be your words. This is a little story written by Debs Reese. Hey, God. God. And God says, hello. Me. I'm falling apart. Can you put me back together? God. I would rather not. Me. Why? God. Because you aren't a puzzle. But what about all of the pieces of my life that are falling down onto the ground? And God says, let them stay there for a while. They fell off for a reason. Take some time and decide if you need any of those pieces back. Me, you don't understand, God. I am breaking down. And God says, no, you don't understand. You are breaking through. What you are feeling are just growing pains. You are shedding the things and the people in your life that are holding you back. You aren't falling apart. You are falling into place. Relax. Take some deep breaths and allow those things you don't need anymore to fall off of you. Quit holding on to the pieces that don't fit. Let them fall off. Let them go. And I said to God, once I start doing that, what will be left of me? And God says, only the very best pieces of you. But I said to God, I am scared of changing. And God says, I keep telling you, you are not changing, you are becoming. Becoming who? I said. Becoming who I created you to be, a person of light and love and charity and hope and courage and joy and mercy and grace and compassion. I made you for more than the shallow pieces that you have adorned yourself with, that you cling to with such greed and with such fear. Let those things fall off of you. I love you. Don't change. Become. Become who I made you to be. I am going to keep telling you this until you remember it. Me, there goes another piece. Yep, God said, just let it be. So I said to God, I'm not broken. And God says, no, but you are breaking like the dawn. It is a new day. Become. Become. And so I said to God, I'm not broken. No, but you are breaking like the dawn. Become. Allow for the new day. We are never really truly falling apart. The world really truly is never falling apart. It may feel that way. It may look that way. And it doesn't mean that we don't get to pay attention to it, but we can reframe what it means. We can adjust in our minds what that means to look and feel as though we are falling apart, when in fact, the universe is calling us forward to allow some of these broken pieces to just fall to the side and for love to spring up, for love to grow more and more visible. The love is always there. That's just the law of physics, the law of metaphysical principle. What is, is. Math is always math. Music is always music. Love is always love. The vibration of the good in the universe is always the vibration of good. It is we in our human bodies who tend to mix things up and muddy the waters. We have a whole lot of practice doing that, and some of us do it really well. And some of us have been able to come into that knowing that we can breathe into those spaces that look like they're broken and allow for those broken pieces to fall aside and trust in the light and the love and the goodness. I want to share with you today how truly adored you are, how truly amazing you are. I had the privilege this morning of attending a memorial service and facilitating that memorial service for a beautiful young man who is so loved and so adored by his family and his friends. And it was an honor to be there. It was an honor to be there and get to experience that much love, that much caring, to see a life that was so well lived and so well loved. And I share this with you because I just want to impart the beauty of this world. Yes, there are things that happen that are not pleasant, to say the least, right? And yet, underneath all of that is this divine love that is truly holding consciousness in place. We so want to hang on to the way that we think it's supposed to be. We so want to hang on to the way that we think it's supposed to look like. And yet, things still happen in our individual lives and in the world. Now, I say this over and over again. That doesn't mean to say that the things that are not pleasant should be ignored. I happen to think that we, as fellow human beings, have a responsibility to all human beings and to call for more love, to step into more light, to not bury our heads in the sand and pretend that nothing is going on, but to be able to step up and say, I see you, I hear you, and I am here listening. And all I may be able to do is to hold the light and the love for you, but let that be enough. Let that be a lot. And then maybe you are called into the world to do even more. But first, just show up with a loving heart and a listening ear. First, just show up and be an advocate for love and light in the world. To pay attention to both the hard places and the places that are full and filled with the light and love of God. I want to share with you a little story. And this is a story about a man by the name of Charney, Charney. I keep wanting to call him Charlie, but it's Charney. And it comes from the time of the French Revolution and Napoleon. Now, it is said that Charney was a friend of Napoleon's. He was at least an acquaintance. I wasn't there, so I can't tell you how close of a relationship they had. But Charney did something that came into the attention of Napoleon, and Napoleon was very unhappy. And he threw Charney into the worst dungeon that Napoleon had available to him. And Charney became very depressed. No one came to see him. There were no visitors. He got a small amount of food and water every day. And he was languishing in this dungeon. He found a way to carve into the stone, nobody cares. He was desolate. He was alone. He was depressed. And he did not know what his fate would be. And then one day, he began to notice a little green shoot that was growing up out of the dirt and the stones on the floor. Lo and behold, there was a little plant that was growing. And Charney began to pay attention to this plant. He would save a little bit of water every day, enough to drink for himself, but also enough to be able to water this little tiny plant. Soon the plant developed a bud, and then it blossomed a blue flower. And then it fully blossomed. And Charney had this beautiful flower with him in this cell, in this dark, dank cell. Now, how could a plant grow in conditions like that? Only good knows, only God knows. But it came into Charney's life, and he nurtured it, and he loved it. There was a fellow prisoner that came to know what was going on with Charney. Charney somehow managed to share this. And the man in the next cell told his sister that this man in the cell next to him was growing this beautiful flower. And through the shifts and the changes, instead of Charney feeling that no one cares, Charney, he wrote into the stone, God cares. God cares. He was given a flower. He was given the hope of life. So the sister of the other man took this message back out into the world about Charney and this plant that was growing in his cell. And news got back to Empress Josephina. And she became interested in this. And she went to Napoleon and said, any man who takes so much care and good keeping of a flower in a dungeon cannot be that bad of a man. And she convinced Napoleon to let him go. A little plant with a blue flower led him to having hope again, to having faith again, to having belief that there was something somewhere that cared for him, that someplace in the world he was important to someone, and he was released back into his life. We are never alone. We are never alone. Oh, we are never alone. Sometimes it may feel that way, but there is an order. There is an order in the world. There is an order in a universe that is the wind beneath our wings. Do you know how adored you are? Do you know how important you are? How precious you are? No matter what is going on in your life, no matter what your history is, no matter what your present behavior may be, you are a precious, precious being, not here by accident. My friend Chris Chenoweth says, if I show you my watch, it is evidence that somewhere, sometime, a watchmaker existed. If you look at the shoes you are wearing right now, they are evidence that somewhere, sometime, a shoemaker existed. If you gaze at the furniture in your house, it is evidence that somewhere, sometime, a furniture maker existed. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you are evidence of an unseen power, a God who never sleeps, a God which has an ear that always hears, a God which is a light which never dims in the darkness, a God which is your strength, which never gives way, a God who is a love which never fails. These are such important words to remember. Sometimes we may feel alone. Sometimes we may see other people that feel so alone, but it is through our belief. It is through trusting and having faith in a power greater than yourself that we can expand the light of love and remember how precious we are. Remember how adored we truly are. I want to share with you a song sung by Karen Taylor Good and Stowe Daly. They are a musical duo and they go by the name Stowe Good. And I want to share with you this beautiful song of theirs called How Adored You Are. So let me bring that up.
son. You have never been alone. In my heart, you're always home. I'm not sure you understand. I am your greatest fan. Do you know how adored you are? How your precious heart is honored here? Do you know that you are loved and you're enough just the way you are? Do you know how adored you are? As a babe you came to earth with secrets of the universe, but you forgot along the way. You are cherished, you are safe. I'm right here in everything you do. Take a breath, I'm breathing you. Do you know how adored you are? How your precious heart is honored here? Do you know that you are love and you're enough just the way you are? Do you know how adored you are? And oh, how you would love yourself, sweet child of mine, if only you could see yourself through my eyes. You would know how adored you are, how your precious heart is honored here. You would know that you are loved and you're enough just the way you are. It's yours to believe, yours to receive. Do you know how adored you are?
Do you know how adored you are? Thank you, So Good, for that beautiful song. Thank you, Stowe and Karen. Do you know how adored you are? How your precious heart is honored here? Do you know that you are love and you're just enough the way you are? Do you know how adored you are? As a babe, you came to earth with secrets of the universe, but you forgot along the way. You are cherished, you are safe. I'm right here in everything you do. Take a breath. I am breathing. I am breathing you. Take a breath. God is breathing you. Please come into the knowing, come into the remembering, come into the willingness to know, to remember how adored you truly are. Remember, in our opening piece, God said, you are not falling apart, you are becoming who I created you to be, a person of light and love, of charity and hope and courage and joy and mercy and grace and compassion. I love you. Don't change, become. So I leave you with this message of just how incredibly precious and precious and loved you are, even though you may not know it. It is the truth of your being. So just breathe that in, that you are love and you are loved and you are adorable. And we go out knowing that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is. And so it is. And so we let it be. See you next week. Bye for now.